but you can't talk about it. You can only say that you're glad for the blessing. You know, the little ladies, oh, your quiver is so full. Oh, you're just so blessed. Yes, Sister Mary Clarence, I am. But also this is hard, and I haven't slept in like 3 months. Greetings from what used to be my formal dining room. It's your girl, Kelsey. This is the all-new Happy Tears podcast, and today we are talking about tips for how to deal with change, because change is the absolute worst. So we talked in the last episode about, do people change? Yes. Why, when, how do people change? But I forgot to mention that change is really difficult. Most of us do not handle change well, especially the older we get. And as we've established, I am a full-on 40-year-old adult. But like, I'm old, but like I'm still cool, you know? So that's what we're talking about today. This is a show where we have easy conversations about hard things. It's a happy, fun, uplifting show. Let's dive into unavoidable grief. Kelsey, what do you mean by unavoidable grief? Well, I'm going to explain it. Let me tell you, we have gone through a lot of changes, my husband and I, right when we got married, which I graduated school, started a new job, then we got married, then my parents moved away, then we moved away, then we moved back. Then we've changed jobs multiple times, we've moved houses, then we moved across the country, sold everything we owned, then we moved home, obviously had a child, then recently had 4 more kids, then had a surprise baby on top of that.
We had 2 dogs in the mix there. They recently passed away in recent years. We have lived with parents. We have had our parents living with us.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
We have gone through so much change. Now, what I mean by unavoidable grief is that anytime there's change, you are losing something. You are gaining something, but you are losing something too. And so even good change can result in grief. Obviously, I am so grateful to be sober, but do I get a little bit bitter and angry and frustrated that I am the way that I am when it's summertime and everyone else is having margaritas? Yes, I do. Do I wish that I had a way to take the edge off when everybody else is, we've all had a rough day of parenting, like all the family were together and the kids are going insane and everybody else, is having a glass of wine. And I'm like, well, let me get my special gum, my peppermint gum rather than spearmint gum. I mean, I got nothing. I just have to feel my feelings. There's no way for me to take the edge off. How rude. I'm all edges, 100%. But I'm still grateful to be sober, right? And I remember every time we moved, like even when we moved to LA, which was living the dream. I mean, I loved it. It was so cool. You know what is so great about Los Angeles is that everyone was as weird as me. All the moms worked. Everyone and their dog was a YouTuber or a podcaster. There is a girl at the gas station I'll never forget, just full glam, duck face, creating content while pumping gas. And I was like, I found my people. I'm home. But we were so alone. I remember thinking, did we ruin our life? Even though I had wanted it and it was amazing. We loved it. Loved California. Loved where we were in LA, in this little town outside of LA. We could look down. I could go for a walk and look at the LA skyline down the hill. It was what dreams are made of. I mean, literally some of the shows that we watched were filmed on our little street. I'm like, oh, that's where we used to go for date night. It was incredible. And I was like, did we ruin our life? Because we were so alone. And that's my little If Rom-Coms Got Real segment, actually, is that in every rom-com, it's like all of the women are friends. And it's like that the women just bring this new girl into the fold. And there's always these girl groups where they're making new adult friends. And it's like, especially where it's a bunch of couples, okay, because you followed this series and the couples as you go along all become friends and they all hang out together. And then in the book that you're currently reading, the main female character gets brought into the fold of all these couples. And the thing about this is, it is, unbearable to try and make new friends as an adult. Comment that I'm right.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
And B, you tell me if I'm wrong, but it is almost impossible to find couples where both you and your husband like both the husband and the wife. Like, tell me in the comments how many couples you can think of where both you and your husband like both the husband and the wife of that couple. If it's not 1 or 2, make an appointment for a plastic surgeon, Pinocchio. You're lying. It's so hard. You'll like the wife. I love her. She's so great. Her husband is a dud. And your husband is like, I'm not doing it. Or vice versa. You know, he's like, he's so cool. And his wife is just not gelling. You know, your personalities don't gel. This is something I actually, in Happy Christmas, which comes out on September 30th everywhere, I actually wrote in a friendship breakup, because that is something that's relatable, is an adult friendship breakup and how hard those are. Now, it's a very light, happy, fun book. It's like a Hallmark Christmas movie book. So it's not a big thing. It's like a subplot of the female main character. But I wrote it because I was like, I couldn't take any more of the fake, all the females are friends all the time. Every female main character in the rom-com either has a few really strong friends and they all hang out with their husbands all the time, or they have like gaggles of friends, like huge friend groups, you know, girl squad, going on girl trips. I don't think any of that's real. Maybe if you're in your 20s, maybe once again, I'm showing my age.
You kids get off my lawn!
Let's get back on task, which is talking about dealing with change. When we moved away, it was very lonely. But even like, let me give you an example, a small thing. So we have 6 children. They're taking over. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a kid in our house. So I gave up my office. We moved things around, and we moved the 2 oldest girls into their own room upstairs, where the 4 girls had been sharing a room, which it was bad. But, we decided, okay, we'll let the oldest go up to what was an office/guest room. And I was so ready for this to happen. And then it happened. And I was like, did we make a mistake? Because what I wanted was for the kids to not be all 6 of them in my face all the time. And all of a sudden, 2 of them weren't around. The girls loved their new room so much, I never saw them. And I was like, we made a mistake. And I really was kind of sad, because the older girls, it was like, especially my oldest, it was like this one change had pushed her into like tweenhood that I wasn't quite ready for. It was like almost overnight. She was like at her desk doing like teen art and like projects, and like not like on her phone texting or anything like that, but just, away, wanting to be away doing her own thing. And I was like, did I ruin everything just now? So even with happy changes, big, great changes, things you prayed for and longed for, you could have some grief. Tip number 1 is that realizing that part of the human condition is constant change. And if there's constant change, there can also be constant grief. And 2 feelings at once. When we adopted our kids, which obviously greatest blessing ever, just on my knees, I begged for those kids. I was approaching the throne of grace with confidence. I was telling the Lord, this is what your word says. This is what we're going to do. But it is the hardest, most excruciating, unbelievably difficult situation, that anyone can go through, but you can't talk about it. You can only say that you're glad for the blessing. The little ladies are, oh, your quiver is so full. Oh, you're just so blessed. Yes, Sister Mary Clarence, I am. But also this is hard, and I haven't slept in like 3 months. And with my daughter, she was praying with me every night, like just couldn't wait to get siblings. And then in that first year, we had to talk through. She was like, I didn't expect to feel X, Y, and Z. She's crying because I think, even at her young age, she knew that like, well, this is what we prayed for, right? And I, gently was just telling her, yes, you can be very happy and be sad, at the same time. And it's okay to have conflicting feelings and feel your feelings. And then maybe let's have a snack and watch an episode of Mako Mermaids, and we'll probably feel better. Why don't we do that with ourselves, with adults? Like, yes, you can be very grateful and so happy and also super sad at the same time. Maybe let's have a snack and watch West Wing, So you need to feel the feelings when going through change. And I think that's part of why change is hard, like stuffing down our feelings about it. Just accept it. Like, I have conflicting feelings about this big change. Number 2, let yourself feel your feelings, even about great big changes that you thought you wanted, that you prayed for, that you longed for and worked for and pushed for. Number 3 is really important, but I want to quickly do Loving Lately. I am loving lately the Simply Piano app, not sponsored, don't have a link for you, but this is how my kids are learning piano, and it is not at all like I learned, and I really did not like it at first because I was like, what in the world are they doing? But they enjoy doing it. It's an app on the iPad, and it connects to a keyboard, and that we keep upstairs in the playroom, and they sit and they do their lessons every day. Also, that's the only way I could get so many children to do piano at once. unless we're going to take out a second mortgage to pay for a piano teacher for 5 kids. I think you should check it out, especially if you want to just get kids involved in piano and get them started without forking over the money for a teacher, especially if maybe they're young and you're not sure how they'll take to it. But, the gamification aspect of, getting the positive affirmations and earning your way to unlock new levels and all of that stuff. My kids really love it, and I love that they love it. So that's the Simply Piano app. The second one is this self tanner. It's made by Loving Tan, 2-hour express tanner. I use the shade medium, and I put it on for 2 to 3 hours and then wash it off. The third one is this room. And if you want a tour of this library and all my little tchotchkes and all my favorite books and favorite authors and all the things, leave a comment. Let me know you want a room tour. I started this thing called dopamine decorating. It's not the entire house. And if you Google dopamine decorating, it's very bright colors. And I'm a little bit gun shy on the colors, but more so like maximalist, where you just put everything you love on the wall and put out things that you love. Like, even if it's cheesy or dorky, or, like I have like tchotchkes and stuff, in my library is not like a mature adult beige Instagram library, right? It's stuff that makes me happy. It's stuff that makes me smile. So that's the thing with dopamine decorating. And so I started doing that I don't know, a few months ago, and I really love it. And once you do one room, you want to do all the rooms, because it's just like, oh, you walk in here and you're just happy. I actually have a bonus tip for you today. So we're about to do lesson number 3, and I have a bonus lesson, which is kind of like a life hack. But before we get into that, I wanted to remind you that the Happy Tears podcast is brought to you by my books. Please buy them. I have not done a great job of selling the fact that you should be pre-ordering. Happy Christmas comes out September 30th. And I want to tell you... Okay, so one of the changes that we had in our life was moving to Los Angeles. And I said, it was great. It was wonderful. It was amazing. Well, in 2020, we were just suffocating alone because everything was shut down. We couldn't even go to the park. Like, the outdoor park near our home was roped off with caution tape. There were no play dates. No one was seeing each other, no church, no nothing. And I knew we couldn't carry on, especially my little daughter needed people. She's an extrovert. She needed people. And so we decided to move home, which was good. That was a good change that we wanted. And I inside was so devastated, not only to be back living within like walking distance of my high school, running into people from middle school at the grocery store, but also because we moved out to LA for my comedy career. And I hope you're sitting down for this, but I am not, in fact, a famous comedian. So we're coming home with our tail between our legs. Why am I bringing this up now? Because it was some of the inspiration for my Christmas novel, where she has to move home. And her hometown happens to be a Christmas town. It's called Juniper Falls, and it's one of those towns that has huge tourism during the Christmas season. It's very picturesque, looks like a Christmas postcard or a Hallmark movie, and so it gets a lot of tourism. She needs money, runs into a friend of a friend who happens to be a billionaire and needs a wife. And so it's a marriage of convenience story where they do this fake marriage. But to convince the world that their fake marriage is real, they use all the activities in her Christmas hometown. I mean, if you love Christmas rom-coms, holiday movies, all the classic Christmas movies, you get them out every year. This is going to be one of your classics. Every year you're going to want to read this. It's so funny, so heartwarming, lighthearted.
Do you really love Christmas? Come on, let it.
Or if you don't want to spend money, you can get Things I Always Wanted for free on my website, kelseyhumphreys.com/freebie. And that's where you can get a whole book for free and read it and see if you like my style. See if you snort, laugh, ugly cry, swoon, kick your feet. You'll do all those things. If you're enjoying my show, you will enjoy my books. All right, lesson number 3, quit sneaking glances in the rearview mirror. Change is hard. We don't like it. We are grieving. Then we are looking back at what we lost. This is stupid. If you're finally off carbs, quit looking at Susie Q's Homemaker's homemade bread sourdough reels on Instagram, where she's got this melted butter close up where it's just oozing into her freshly made bread that she made with her own little wheat berries in her own little grinder that she cooked in that special order oven that we've all seen now that has like 6 doors on it. Looks like it could survive a nuclear attack. Don't look at her reels anymore. Okay? Even if you love them and it's great, even if they're like your best friend, but everything they post is like romanticized, maybe them and their trips, maybe they travel a lot, and you're doing a no spend September or whatever. Quit looking at all the stuff they're buying and all the things they're doing. Quit looking at your vacationrentals.com email alerts if you're on a spending freeze. My personal example, and this is kind of a weird one, I love following female comedians. My favorites, Leanne Morgan, Heather McMahon, Angela Reyes-Johnson, Jennifer Fulwiler, Kat and Nat, I Mom So Hard. Okay, all these female comedians. Love them. But looking at their Instagram makes me sad. They're out there crushing it on stage, making people laugh. I am at my house with my eyes watering because the diapers smell so bad. Different vibe. Don't do it. Okay? If you're finally off sugar, unfollow, hide, unsubscribe, remove from feed all of those recipe sites that keep pumping out dessert videos. Maybe you didn't even choose it. You didn't choose to quit your job and have to go look for something else, but then, you're constantly looking back to see what your coworkers are doing, or you're following some industry account that was really relevant, or some project that you were going to do and now it's launched and you're stalking how it's doing. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. Quit sneaking glances at the rearview mirror. You're going the way you're going, sister. The train has left the station. You're on your way. So it's not doing you any good. Okay, here's lesson number 4, bonus life hack. A lot of people ask me, and leave a comment if you also would ask this question, like, how do you organize a household of 8? How are you not just drowning or pulling your hair out or covered in like piles of laundry and, toys everywhere? We have streamlined systems, like I told you about the towels, last episode or episode before last. Okay, and people ask, how are you doing that? What are you doing? And this is the life hack. When there is a big change, you can tack on a change that you wanted to change to the change that's happening. What? Word salad. I'll give you an example. Summer break is over, because that's probably more relevant when this comes out. Summer break is ending. The kids are going back to school. Perfect opportunity to change the bedtime routine or the morning routine, because the routines are changing anyway. So one of the things in our family, we have very simple, very quick cut and dry bedtime routines. The girls the little ones put themselves to bed. We hug them, boom, you're done. They're asleep. And there's no coming out, whining and crying. It's very, very streamlined bedtime. Same for the next shift. We have a few shifts of bedtime because the kids' ages are staggered. But it's the same thing. We hug you goodnight, kiss you goodnight, goodbye. How did we do that? Well, when they moved in, we were making all new routines. What we were going to do was we were going to set up a new bedtime routine. Now, I realize that's a huge life change where they're moving to live with us after, where we're adopting kids. But this happens, and I've given this advice and people really appreciate it. Like if there's spring break, fall break, Christmas break, if you're changing churches, changing schools, stuff like that, where the change is already happening, when there's that opportunity, you can tack on a new routine or a new habit. Homeschooling moms, I know your kids be snacking. Your kids be snacking all day long. We don't do that. And if you want them to snack all day long, that's fine. But I couldn't handle it because we've got things to do, and I cannot handle 5 kids. The little one can't really. He can kind of start asking for a snack at this point. But 5 kids asking for a snack all day long, I would lose my mind. So we have breakfast. We have lunch. We have afternoon activity, snack time, dinner. Sometimes there's a treat at night, depending on things that have happened during the day. That's it. And no one is ever asking for a snack at 11 a.m. No one is ever asking for a snack right after lunch. Never. It is so great. So I encourage you, if this is a problem with you and your kids, or maybe you have littler kids and they're not school age yet and you're trying to figure this out, the next time you have a routine change, or you go on a vacation and then you come back from vacation, it's another great opportunity because you had, your routine was disrupted anyway. You come back and say, new rules, guys. We're going to have set snack times. They will not like it at first, but it'll just take a couple days. Humans like routine. As soon as it's routine and they get the rhythm of we're going to have a morning snack and an afternoon snack, or in our case, we have an afternoon snack and that's it. I'm telling you, I'm so passionate about this because I feel like a lot of times moms, we feel powerless because this is the way we do it. And this is the way the kids want it. And they go nuclear, absolutely nuclear when we disrupt their routine. I get it. I've got 6 of them. I hear you. I get it. But that's why I'm so passionate about this, because you don't have to live that way, okay? You could take the opportunity to change things when there are breaks. Even homeschooling, you can say we're going to take a week off for our summer break or our fall break or whatever and do something a little bit disruptive. And then when you come back, change the snack routine. Come back a few weeks from now and tell me thank you. Thank you, Kelsey, for changing my life. You're welcome.
We say you're welcome.
You're welcome. That is it for episode 3. We've gone through Kelsey's changes, why I disappeared, why I'm back, dealing with change, making changes, changing yourself. And I want to talk about, since we dealt with all of my failures, I want to talk about what about a life's calling? Because as I said, I never thought I was like made to write books. This doesn't exactly feel like my calling. So do we have a purpose, one life's purpose? And what if we missed it? So come back for that episode. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button and remember to subscribe. If you're listening on iTunes, please go into iTunes and leave a review. And remember, fam, we are working together to get me on the road to come hug you in person and do some stand-up comedy and some book signing in person. And so I need you to tell your friends about the show. And remember, if I'm out with my family and everyone else is having cocktails and I'm chewing the crap out of a piece of gum and my eyes start to water, those are happy tears.